Well, hi there, everybody. It is just about 9 o'clock here on a Friday morning. We are rounding out the first week of the last year into the new year. It's 2026, and hope you are enjoying yourselves and pretty much a full week coming up next week. But you know what? Let's forget about Monday right now. Let's talk about today. Let's talk about the weekend. Chris Mulcahy is in the Live Impact studio, and
whoop, whoop.
Hello to you. What's going on?
Congratulations to your Hurricanes, by the way.
Thank you so much. Thanks for the shout out. Throwing up the U. Total. Just a great thing. Just coming off cloud nine.
You think you guys can win it all?
Well, yeah, of course. Now
with that energy, yeah.
You know, I mean, you watch Michael Irvin on some of the shots there, and he is just one of those jack in the boxes and springs, and he's like bouncing all over the place, and I think that's just him. But
what's his name? Malachi Tony.
Malachi Tony.
Oh man, talk about a rookie phenomenon.
Amazing.
Yeah,
where did he come from?
Yeah,
he came from my hometown.
Oh really?
Yes.
No way.
Represent Plantation, Florida.
Wow.
Oh wow.
The 305-954 American Heritage.
I remember him early in the season. I was like, who is this? Because as you know, I'm really big into fantasy football. So 3 years from now, I look forward to drafting Malachi Tony. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, actually, that matchup was interesting because you have Jeremiah Smith and Malachi Tony. I think those two are going to be stars in the NFL.
Oh, absolutely.
So watching that. So congratulations for you.
Yeah, so fun,
so
great. Was there 24 hours? I was just telling Carlene.
That's
I did exactly 24 hours in Dallas. Left. What's it? Today's Friday. Left Wednesday morning. My flight was at 5 in the morning. We got to Dallas just after 7 a.m. My flight yesterday back to Charlotte was at 7:10 a.m.
Wow.
Yep.
See, that's an adventure, though.
Yeah.
Good
That was
for
the
you.
adventure, yes.
Well,
Thank you. I'm paying for it now.
No, yeah, the thing is, when you do those things and your team wins, you're like, worth it. When they lose, you're like, what did I do?
Why did I do that?
Exactly. Listen, in the back of my head, I was thinking, there's a chance we can win. I'm not, you know, although we're the underdogs.
Not there for nothing.
Yeah. But if we don't win, I guess in the back of my mind as well, there's a chance that we, you know, I could be realistic about this because we're 9.5 points. Underdog.
When did it was like it was even though it's an expanded one, you guys haven't been actually in the playoff format since it began. So like you still got to go to that. So I think that's really cool.
Exactly.
And honestly, like I know that there's the Alabama, the Worlds, but just seeing like Ole Miss come back, your names, it's almost like you're getting kind of like vintage '90s again for some of these big teams. So yeah, and this is coming from a Florida State fan. I was actually I'm not supposed to like you guys or be happy that you did well, but I like you, Jane. So I'll let you. Plus, we've been so terrible for so long. So like I'm like, you know what?
Give it to another Florida team.
Yeah, go ACC. Close enough, right?
North,
South, who cares?
There we go.
All right, I'll get right to the forecast because I'm like yesterday we went off on a football tangent for about 15 minutes, so I'll cut it short. Well, we're looking at a little bit of sunshine off in the distance. Today, all in all, is going to be a cloudier day. We're going to pick up more clouds throughout the day, and without getting too meteorological on you, we're going to have a lot of these what's called cirrostratus clouds move in, I think, later on today. And it's tough to forecast cloud type. This is just kind of just the general trends that we're on. So what this is where I think at one point you're going to turn the sky completely a milky type white. But the clouds are going to be thin enough, so cirrostratus, meaning that they're way up in the atmosphere, that I think you're going to be able to see where the sun is at times. When those start to lower in the atmosphere, they turn to what's called altostratus. At that point, you can still kind of see where the sun is, and then once they get lower, you don't see it at all. So I think progressively through the day, you're going to see less and less blue sky, and then eventually it will be a cloudier end, but it's not the gloom and doom type of cloudy. We have that for tomorrow, so something to look forward to. And a little bit more details for your January 2nd. Yes, on the left side, I usually like to put some sort of image that has to do with today. And I put laundry because I've been talking about superstitions for days now. And yesterday was the day you were not supposed to do laundry. Did anyone do laundry yesterday?
Nope, you told me not to.
Okay, good.
Saved it for today.
Good, that's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
And also bringing it a step further is, okay, let me bring this one up because I enjoy this graphic. Brittany actually named this one, so I will not take credit. Undeck the Halls forecast. It's not a good day for tomorrow because tomorrow is going to be cold and rainy. We'll go through our future cast, but it's much better on Sunday. But here's the deal. This is what my plan is, and sometimes following the weatherman is not always the worst decision. All my other decisions don't follow me. It's probably a mistake. But for today, my outdoor decorations, like big old Frosty and this little cute dog that's carrying a present, I'm going to take, it's adorable. I'll take a picture before I take it down. And I have this little train. So you have the dog with the present, this little train, and then a big old Frosty up.
Cute.
So, and we try to add something to it every year. But I'm going to take those in today. Because, think about it, you could do it on Sunday, but those are still going to get wet because we're
Yeah,
looking
they're
at
soggy.
widespread rain. So this is the best time to do it. We've been dry long enough. And then tomorrow, since it's not going to be a great day, I'm hoping to take down those indoor decorations. I love the Christmas spirit, but now I'm feeling cluttered, y'all. Yeah.
Time to get it done.
Yeah, and we have this child that has all these extra presents, so he's like, where do we put everything? So we are planning on doing that. So I just wanted to kind of say what my plan was to kind of help you all prepare. And also heading into tomorrow, because the cloud cover, you're not going to be able to see it, but the moon's been bright recently. And this is actually the brightest and biggest moon that we are going to see until about September. And then we're starting to get around supermoon season.
Can
So,
you give me a ah woo?
oh yeah. Woo!
Oh, nice.
All right. So all the moons are named for different times of the year.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's called the full wolf moon?
So you can ah woo.
That's
That's a good way.
I'll
There's
take that
good
as an
reason as
answer.
any. Because the
Do they come out?
there's more wolves out.
Essentially, I'll give you both credit for
Okay.
it. It's essentially the indigenous Native Americans, especially in the Plains states, said that the wolves would be howling with hunger this time of year because there's less
They
food.
ah-woo.
Yeah, they woo. So that's what I'm saying. Both of you get credit for
All right.
sure. So that's why it's the full wolf moon, and then going forward, we just have different moon names depending on what the time of year is going to be. So the full wolf moon officially is full at 5:02 tomorrow morning. You will not see it because it'll be super cloudy and damp, and it'll rise again at 5:43. And at that point, the clouds are starting to decrease. So if you're up late on your Saturday night, you are likely going to see the moon again, and hopefully you are celebrating a win for the Carolina Panthers because that game is at 4:30. I also want to say I was a dum-dum yesterday that I was talking about the forecast and I was looking for Sunday afternoon. I forgot that it was a Saturday game.
It was Saturday.
Yes,
So,
I
yeah.
thought that earlier this week.
Yeah, now all of a sudden, as soon as I got out of here yesterday, I was just like, the game's on Saturday, you doof. So my correction, it looks like it is going to be a wet game for the
How wet are
Panthers.
we talking?
I would say
Yeah,
there is a
soaking.
chance as of right now, and admittedly, I haven't looked incredibly deep into this. There's a chance that you could have a couple of it's raining fully during a couple of quarters. The best optimism is it's just really cloudy and it feels like it's going to rain, but things are trending right now that it could pour at times.
Wow.
So let's go Chuba, let's go Rico Dowdle. I
There we
think
go,
it might be a
exactly.
running game type of deal. And this is all associated with the system that we're also dealing with on Saturday. So it's a cold front that bends down there. So that's the only hope that the tail end starts to slow down a little bit. But right now it is definitely trending towards a wet game. And then on your Sunday, sunshine is going to come back out. So let's get right to our future cast to show you what this all looks like. For today, we increased the cloud cover, as I mentioned. I think eventually you're going to no longer really see the blue sky by the end of the day. Just more of, hey, there's the sun. Oh, there goes the sun. But then by about 10 o'clock, and it's at this point that we're talking about a different game, and it has to do with Mayo. So the Duke's Mayo Bowl, I think, is going to be dry initially. 55 is the starting point at 8 o'clock. Wake Forest taking on Mississippi State. Ending in the lower 50s, but oftentimes, if you look at a radar image, whenever you have a setup like this, it looks like nothing's going on. But I think that there's going to be some mist and drizzle starting to work its way in. So the best case scenario is it's cloudy, and at worst, at the end of the game, you look up in those big lights, the big stadium lights, and you see the moisture. I think you're still going to see that if you're there. So I like to paint imagery as much as possible. Worst case scenario is the second half, you start to see the mist in the lights, and then it descends, and it'll start to feel damp. And the 50s is great for this time of year because we average a high of 52. We're going to have that for the game, which is unusual. But you still want to dress accordingly. I definitely would suggest that if you have anything more of a rain jacket type of deal, just to have something that's a little bit more water resistant than anything. But
Misty.
Misty.
Like inside of a refrigerator.
Yeah, I would say like misty. That I could see that
know what I'm
a little
saying?
bit. Yeah, a little bit warmer than a refrigerator.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
you know that, like, you know, the little the misty you get?
Exactly. Yeah, and
You know, the gas station 7-Eleven inside that, you know.
oh, that's
see
a really
it,
good
yeah.
one. Yeah. And well, and at times I think it could even be like the vegetable section of a grocery store.
Yes.
Oh,
That
like
intermittents. I love the ones that played the thunderstorm sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Used to scare me as a kid.
Oh, did you? Yeah. I haven't seen that in forever.
I feel like I'm at Rainforest Cafe.
I know. Yeah, right?
It is very
You're like,
that.
oh. Or you always get shocked, you're reaching for the lettuce, and you almost feel lucky that comes that. And that's the hardest thing about, because the way drizzle works is it's below the radar beam. So oftentimes in the radar, you don't even really see anything. So that mist turns to drizzle. I would rather have a moderate rain than drizzle, because drizzle just kind of has you walking around like a naked mole rat, and then you can't really just deal with that pesky rain. All right, so getting to the rain that moves in, that it's absolutely going to rain, is on Saturday morning from about 2 to 6 is where we have the rain that takes over. It will be heavy at times, and then by the afternoon, we're starting to clear things out, dry it out, but I still think you're going to have a chance for a second shower at some point in the afternoon, staying cloudy most of the day. We start to see the clouds break heading into the evening, but we will not see the sunshine at all on your Saturday. That's where things are trending. We will see it for your Sunday, and you will see it for your Monday, but not a good-looking day. That's why I was bringing up the Napometer, also a great name for doing some binge watching. I've been waiting for the child to actually sleep during the day because he gave up naps because I want to watch Stranger Things. And I have 2 episodes. I literally have been avoiding Instagram because
Smart.
Instagram knows, and because
Yeah.
people won't necessarily spoil it directly, but they'll do like me while the big reveal happens. So I'm trying to avoid it. Don't tell me what happens. I know Netflix crashed over it, but we have a deep purple as far as the Napometer goes. But boy, do I have a nice little treat for you after that. Check this out. So 48 degrees. Saturday has 3 superlatives: the cloudiest, the coldest, and the wettest day of the week. Then it's near average. And then we have 62, 67, and 65. I might have been a little bit sheepish on Wednesday that truly, if we get more sunshine that's being indicated here, we might even be talking about a 70-degree day here. And then our 10-day forecast, you have the lower to the mid-60s taking over for at least a solid 5-day span. Now, usually what goes up must come down. I don't see that immediately in the near term. And I was giving this an example yesterday. In 1985, we had the second warmest start to a year on record. 3 weeks later, we hit -5 for a low for the coldest temperature of all time in Charlotte history. So anything goes, but that's why we have to just live in the moment, especially the way winter works. But seeing all these 60s and everything, that is a wonderful range. And I showed you this yesterday, but I want to end on this stat. The cool thing is, and it might be this Wednesday that we've had, oh, that's the wrong stat, sorry. 74 of the last 147 Januaries have hit 70 plus. So that means you have just over a 50% chance in any given January for us to have at least one 70-degree day. And to build on top of that, we usually average about up to 6 60-degree days, because the average 52, you have to have temperatures above that. We're already seeing above average amount of 60-degree temperature days and even a shot at 70 within the first half of January. And that's a good way to start off the year.
That is great.
We're
We'll
doing
take
good.
that. Yeah, no
I
problem.
like those odds.
Yeah, those are pretty good.
Yeah.
No complaints here.
Yeah.
All right.
So-
I can't believe I'm going to do this, but only going to do this for you. But
I knew it. Let's
Good
go,
job.
Colleen.
Do it.
Let's
And
go.
I didn't lose a
throw
bet.
it up. Throw
Yeah.
it up.
Why not?
there it is.
All right, there's my
I'm going to
screenshot.
pretend like I'm just having
Thank
you
you.
kick a field goal.
There we
Right.
go.
Gamecocks have we don't have much going on, so why
We
not?
got some
Why not?
canes over here.
Yeah. Florida State was good for one game, so I'll just
Yeah,
leave it there.
yeah, that was a good
Gamecocks
start.
didn't
Remember
have a
that game.
bowl, a spoon.
Might as
a
well. Might as
plate.
well just come on to this
Yeah. We didn't
wagon
see a
here.
table.
We'll
I'll join
take you.
Jane's table.
We love you.
Okay.
Love you.
Well,
Thank
good
you
luck.
so much. Thanks for the shout outs.
Of course.
Let's go Canes. All right, we're going to be right back here on Live Impact News on WCNC Plus. All right, time right now is 9:17. We just teased a little bit about college football playoff and bowl games. And you know what? Enough on Miami for now. Just for now. I'm sure I'm going to come back to it here in the next week. But, of course, tonight is the Duke Mayo Bowl here at Bank of America Stadium. They did have a press conference yesterday talking to the coaches for both sides. This is the coach now. It is Wake Forest, and they're playing
Mississippi State.
I was going to say not Old Mississippi.
No.
Because Ole Miss
Is
is going
Mississippi State
semi-court.
University, the
All right,
Bulldogs.
there we go. So here is that press conference for you now. Getting pumped for tonight's Duke's Mayo Bowl on WCNC+. Plus.
Got a couple changes, I guess, with skill positions, running back, receivers. You got to fill in. How's things working with that? Who are you expecting to fill in?
Well, I think that's the best part of some of these bowl games. You know, got a lot of guys that I've seen behind the scenes that have worked their tail off to really create these opportunities. You know, Carlos is one of those guys that has a tremendous finish to the season, and we got to continue to lean on him. You know, but Sawyer Racanelli in spots this season has come up really big for us, and he'll get a lot of run in this game. Sterling Burkhalter, Ty Clark, you know, really emerged as a really good 1B option for us as the season continued with a downhill, physical, aggressive run style. Obviously, has taken over most of the third down throughout the season. We'll do that again in this game. You know, I think the best part for Robbie, the quarterback in the game, is just make the right play with the ball at all times. Sometimes when you lose a couple playmakers, you know, you don't have to worry about getting them the football in certain situations. Every situation, every play, make the right read, distribute it correctly, and play within themselves. So best part is our offensive line is intact. We're going to lean on those guys, and they need to establish a certain level of physicality that's going to be required for us to have success on offense.
It's been basically a month since you guys had contact.
I believe 32 days. Yes. You know, who's counting?
Do you worry about that? I mean, kind of a lag and trying to get back in the physical game of football.
Well, I think there is something to that. Football is a rhythm, physical, tough, execution, detailed game. You know, I think the best part about us is the standard that we practice with is very physical, right? And we've had to push through that a couple times. These guys are like, Coach, we're going in pads again. Coach, we're going good on good again. Coach, we got inside run again. Yes, because that's what it's going to take to win the football game. Now, the best part about us, as opposed to some of the playoff games, we're also playing another team that hasn't played in the same amount of time, but you can't replicate the tackling. Our ball carriers haven't been taken to the ground. You know, our defensive guys haven't run the angles, and they have some tough physical backs. So that'll be the challenge in that flow of that first quarter. Who's adjusted to game speed faster, right? I think both teams want to get off to a fast start, but getting up to game speed and the physicality of the game that's required to go out and win against a really good physical opponent.
You got a new quarterback who's a dual threat.
Yeah.
Ran for a couple touchdowns in his start there. What do you think about him?
Dynamic, you know, and I think anytime you have a dynamic young player, you're going to really run what he does best. You know, I think you saw that in the Ole Miss game in a pressure situation in the Egg Bowl. I think you saw what he's capable of doing, and I would imagine from 4 weeks of practice, you know, he's going to have tremendous growth in that amount of time. So obviously he's a dual threat. You know, he's really good getting the ball out in certain RPO games, certain shot plays, but the X factor is creating the things that aren't on the play sheet. So we got to keep them corralled. We got to be able to rush together. I think it's been a big point of emphasis this week, not to get selfish in our rush lanes. You know, I think in bowl games, I've seen it before where, you know, guys want to finish and do some different things. We got to be very disciplined in our roles and responsibilities. We know he's going to make plays. You know, I don't think we can't take a stop everything attitude, but we got to go out there and try to limit him in some capacity and make him be a pocket passer, which is going to be an extreme challenge.
What's the message been to your team in this narrative of if you're not in the CFP, bowl games don't matter?
Well, I just don't believe in it, you know, and I think as a group, these seniors don't believe in it. And I think that's the best part of it. Like, no one thought we could be here, guys. Everyone thought I'd be waiting for the portal right now because we weren't going to be any good. So these seniors have dictated the tempo and the mentality of our whole season, and they want to finish it off the right way. There's only been 3 teams in Wake Forest history that have won 9 games or more. What a cool opportunity. Now, don't worry about history. We're worrying about being 1-0 for one final time. But do you want to be a champion of the game, or do you want to participate in the game? Like, what do you want that to be? And I think our guys want to go out on the right note.
On that note, with that senior leadership, how are they taking that to the next generation of leadership?
Well, this game teaches you way more than just X's and O's, and I think Wake Forest is a perfect place to understand that we're building champion men. You know, wherever their journey takes them from here, whether it is the NFL, whether it is into the workforce, whether it is in the coaching. I got a couple guys that came up to me and want to be coaches, which I'm trying to talk them out of, by the way. Man, just really proud of this team and how it's come together. I think they've learned a lot of great life lessons. They've changed. They've adapted. They've had an ability to create a really connection that's forged through a lot of hard work and adversity. So just proud of this team and kind of the mental makeup of it. And, you know, I think these are one of those groups that'll get back together 10, 15, 20 years down the road and be really proud of what they've accomplished.
Coach, you've probably seen the videos of previous coaches and what they had to go through if they won. Mayo jump. What are your thoughts going in? Are you just getting ready for that?
It's a hell of a celebration right here, all right? You know, I don't think anyone's scared because it means you won the game. Everyone asks, how do you prepare for it? I don't think you have any way to prepare for it. You just let it happen and you put a smile on your face because it means your players went out there and won a tough physical football game. So whoever coach gets to that moment, I guarantee you they'll enjoy it.
Coach, to be able to get that ninth win, how is that going to feel, you know, leading to next year for this team?
Well, I mean, everyone knows, you know, this is the new year already, you know, so this group gets an opportunity to really, we talked about all year about building a foundation for the future, which I think they've done a tremendous job of, but also springboarding us into what's next. You know, there's going to be a bunch of young guys. They're going to get some opportunities to play underneath the bright lights. Be themselves. Be who you're trained to be. And I think those game reps and responsibilities will kind of springboard ourselves into a really positive next season. But at the end of the day, you know, we've been 1-0 all year, and we just got to finish what's right in front of us.
About to end your first year, are you surprised the amount of success you've had this year at Wake Forest?
Yeah, I don't think surprise is the right word, because I think you always come in and you want to have a very detailed plan and you want to go out there and execute it. And you guys know I got a high level of belief in what we do as a program, and the credit goes to the players, right? They've worked hand in hand with us at every step. They've accepted every change that we've wanted to make, and they've gone out there and found a way as a team to win tough, gritty football games, guys. This hasn't been pretty. They dealt with adversity in the Georgia Tech game. We dealt with, just falling on our face at the Florida State game, and we've responded every time. So our guys feel like there's a little bit of unfinished business, but excited about, going out there and trying to finish 1-0 this final time.
What's one word that would describe the season to you?
If there's the biggest thing that I try to tell the coaches, it's joyful. And I think in college football, you choose where your mind goes and where you focus, right? I could give you a laundry list and a dissertation on things that are messed up, but I'm really having a great time. I really enjoy our football team, our senior, our leaders, and the way we.
And that will do it for Coach Dickert speaking on tonight's Duke's Mayo Bowl. We will get to the press conference held by Coach Lebby from Mississippi State a little bit later. We are going to take a quick 2-minute break here on Live Impact News on WCNC+. Welcome back to Live Impact News on WCNC+. We know that the Charlotte metro area has seen some devastating fires recently, including the home of NASCAR driver Denny Hamlin's parents there in Gaston County. In fact, the weeks right after the holidays seem to be one of the highest risk periods for house fires. And as we start the new year, a lot of us are already taking down those holiday decorations. So that is more fuel for the fire, literally. We have fire expert in town right now in studio with us, warning that the danger isn't over yet. Kevin O'Connell from United Water Restoration Group joining us this morning. Kevin, thanks for coming in here on this second day of the new year.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a really important topic, as we were just talking during the little break here, that it seems like we have seen these fires happen a lot recently.
Yeah, the Christmas holiday tends to be a really popular time for fires to happen. I actually got into this business partially because my parents had a house fire over Christmas Eve. And what happened was, in that situation, there was some dried out, a wreath that was pretty dried out a couple of days after Christmas. Candle was lit on the mantle, window was open, the draft caught fire, caught the wreath on fire. And so there's a lot of things, like as we progress here after the holiday season, as your tree dries out, as your wreaths start to dry out, those are just conductors for fire, and it's really important to kind of take some good safety precautions around that.
Yeah, so let's talk about some of the hidden dangers. Kevin, what can you tell us about, what we are taking for granted in our house that could be cause for a fire?
Yeah, I think, as I talked about there, the drying out of your tree, make sure to dispose of that properly away from your home. That's a number one thing. Trees really go up very quickly. Wreaths, garland, anything like that. We talked a little bit about LED batteries during the break as well.
Yeah.
And so any holiday, lights and things that have LED batteries, making sure that they're stored properly, making sure they're unplugged at all times, especially when you go to sleep at night. Those are some things that are really important to keep in mind.
What is it with the LED batteries that, we're seeing a lot of these cases? I mean, we are seeing a lot more use of the LED battery, but why is that fueling such a difficult fire?
It's just harder to put out. So if you look on the news, a lot of times the Tesla batteries with the cars are a lot more difficult for firefighters to put out quickly. It's the same concept in the house as well. So if you have lawn mowers or other things that are plugged in near the house at all times, it's a good practice to unplug them overnight, or at least unplug them once they're fully charged. It is more difficult for the firefighters to put them out quickly as opposed to other types of fires.
Many people have already moved their dry Christmas trees and the wreaths, maybe to the garage, maybe to the porch, waiting for pickup. What kind of risk are we thinking there? Because it is relatively out of the way, right?
It can be. I would recommend, if you're not on your porch or in your garage, a lot of times people are putting them on the street quickly. That's a good place to put it,
Okay.
so people can put it. The garbage people can come by and take care of it that way, or just putting it a little bit farther away from your home, keeping it away from your grills or any propane tanks, anything like that is probably a good practice.
How about these extension cords or the lights that we use? How do we know when they're no longer good?
Yeah, I mean, this is an important thing too. Make sure you inspect it after you unplug all your lights. Look for anytime, dogs sometimes go after them or bite them a little bit,
yes.
any wearing in the edge of the cords, just throw them out, use them, get new ones for next year. It is, in some cases, a little bit pricey, but it's worth it to keep your house.
Hey,
at
day
rest.
after Christmas sale, too. They
Yeah.
go on sale a lot.
Yep.
I usually do inspect them before I put them on the tree
Yep.
or up on the wall, but it's a good idea to do post as well.
Correct,
Good take. How about the this New Year home safety check? What does that entail?
Yeah, I mean, there are a couple things that we think about in my day-to-day business. We deal with water, fire, and mold situations, which are, devastating things that happen to customers. And I think looking for certain things in your insurance policies, like sewer backup caps, looking for anything that's kind of around your home that is a risk to creating water losses or creating fires, whether that's the LED batteries that we talked about earlier. Just doing some basic safety checks on your filters, cleaning out your laundry dryer machine, all the lint there.
Oh,
Those are
yes.
creating fires as well. So just basic things like that. It's a good time to kind of reevaluate and look through your home and look for certain risks around the way.
No, that's good. Carlene has a question.
Yeah.
Fire extinguishers.
Yes.
I have one. When I moved to my new place, I got one because it didn't have one in the facility.
Atta girl.
How often should people change them? I know they do.
They do expire,
right?
so
Yeah.
make sure you do check them, and also look at how to use them.
Yeah.
They are. They're not complicated, but when you are in a situation where it's a little bit,
You're
on
panicked,
edge, you're kind of
yeah.
panicked. Make sure
Right.
you know how to use it, because there are a few things that you have to do to actually make it usable.
Okay, so if I wanted to safely try it out, is there a scenario where I should safely try that out?
Yeah, you can just go into a big field or something in
Okay.
your backyard. But
It's not-
yeah,
it's not like-
you don't want that everywhere, but
I
it is,
wouldn't recommend it
you
in
know,
your house.
Right.
Don't test it in your
Sure,
house.
but it shouldn't be near other people's. Just go to a
correct.
nice big old field.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Right, I would test out my pepper spray every
Right.
once in a while
Yeah.
and just kind of spray it
Yeah.
out in the wide open and go, yep, okay, it still works,
Yeah. And try to keep one on each floor. I mean, this sounds.
I was going to say, how many do we have?
Yeah, one on each floor is kind of what we
Okay.
recommend. And
That's good.
Growing up, we always kept one under our kitchen sink, and then
Yep.
on the upstairs bathroom under the sink up there. I think those are good places to put it. Just make sure you know where it is. You look at it every once in a while, make sure it's not expired. And
Yeah, how often do they, or how long do they last?
I believe it's 2 years, but
Okay.
just don't quote me on that.
Okay, but yeah, a
I
couple
believe
of
it's
years
2
maybe.
years, yeah.
Just keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
Smoke detectors, obviously.
Smoke detectors, come and change them. Check them for new batteries every year. That's always a good practice. If you do need new ones, there are plenty of vendors around here, electricians who can come in and test them out for you and put in new ones for you.
And I like that the carbon monoxide smoke detector combo is
Yeah.
a common thing as well. What else do we need to know to, ensure that our home is as safe as possible?
I mean, we've covered a lot of it today.
Yeah.
I mean, I think just looking out, just be conscious of certain risks. There's, fires can be devastating, and so as you light candles, certainly don't smoke inside. Like the things like that are all causes of fires that we get calls in for every day, and it's just something that you want to be aware of.
Yeah. And we were talking about the kinds of fires, the level of fire. Obviously, the total loss is something you can't, you got to start over, obviously.
Yeah.
But if at least you can limit the risk of the fire from spreading.
Yeah, limiting the damage by fire extinguishers, having good, well-installed the monoxide detectors and the smoke alarms, and then calling 911 as quickly as possible if you are home, making sure that the fire department gets out there quickly.
All right, good. Yeah. All right, we're getting our home ready for the new year, for 2026. You want to be safe, want to see less of these fires, as we've seen too many now in the news, and some obviously tragic results. Kevin O'Connell, thank you for joining us here in the Live Impact studio. More information, he's at United Water Restoration Group. And we will be right back on Live Impact News on WCNC Plus. All right, welcome back at 9:38 on a Friday, January 2nd, second day of 2026. Thanks for joining us here on Live Impact News on WCNC Plus. I'm Jane Monreal. Want to let you know that because of Duke's Mayo Bowl, they made themselves available to the media yesterday. And we did hear from Wake Forest coach Dickert just moments ago. Now we want to play you the presser from Coach Jeff Lebby from Mississippi State University side now for you here on WCNC Plus.
Well, how's your
in Charlotte been so far?
It's been great. Our guys they've had incredible experience, which that's, to me, is what this is all about, obviously, as you lead up to go play. But our guys have enjoyed it, and it's been great.
What are some of the things you guys have been up to? I've seen some things online, social media and things like that, but what are some of those activities you guys have done?
So, of course, the Speedway was incredible. Community service yesterday was incredible. They had a great outing last night, our guys did. And then we got great work in. Had great meetings, great lifts, and our guys are ready for Friday night.
Were you able to get in the race car yourself, or was it just the guy?
I stayed away. I got enough things going on to where I'm good. But our guys had a ball, man. It was such a cool experience for them. I think our guys got incredible perspective and thankful for getting to do what we're doing.
Is it easy to underappreciate just how much it matters to have players buy into an event like this?
Yeah, I mean, our guys, I think that's been what's as good as it gets for me is seeing these guys have a ball, whether community service yesterday, the Speedway, doing things that they wouldn't get to do, and that's awesome.
You hired a couple coaches since we last talked to you.
Yeah.
Just speak about them and what you think they'll bring to this team.
Yeah, I mean, you think about KJ, Kevin's done it at a very high level for a long time and coordinated and had a ton of success, and so his resume speaks for itself. Excited about that. Ty, coaching the D-line, incredible experience. I think when guys have the ability to learn from somebody that did it at the highest level, that matters. He's got incredible presence and eager to go do it and go chase it inside this conference, which I'm excited about. And we've made incredible additions. Desmond Lindsay, a guy that's from our state that has done it for a long time and going to have the ability to recruit at a really high level. So we've had some great additions.
Whether it's position staff or support staff, was there a common thread you were looking at when you were looking to revamp the staff?
Yeah, I mean, we wanted great experience. I think that was the first thing. As we looked at it offensively, as we continued to try to build this thing the right way, as I've talked about for the last 2 years, guys that have had great experience, whether it's in this conference, coordinating, calling plays, helping be able to put it all together. I think that was important for us.
Coach, a lot of people say bowl games, playoffs, they don't matter, but I mean, how much would a win, this week do for the program?
It's all we've talked about. For us, we've talked about having an incredible experience throughout the week, but the things that these guys will remember is Friday night, and playing in the game and having the ability to go win would be a huge step in the right direction for our program, and continuing to build momentum as we're year 2 and building this thing the right way.
You've got a young quarterback who's played a really good game.
Yeah.
What have you been working on the last month with him to advance his game?
We talk about predictable outcomes. Like I want to be able to call something and know what's going to happen before it happens. Camario's got the ability to make something right when it's not right, but that's what we've been focused on. He's had incredible preparation. Guy spends so much time in the building and getting ready to go play. Proud of him. Excited for him to be able to go do it Friday night.
Is it hard being off and not playing, not having that full regular contact?
Yeah, I don't view it that way. I view it in a way that's it's a huge advantage. Being able to practice, being able to lift, being able to meet, being able to do all the things we've been able to do for the last month, to be able to get ourselves ready to go play Friday night, and it's been great for our program, and that's how I view it.
Back to the staff, when do you expect to have it finalized?
Yeah, we've got a couple things that I think will be done here in the next 10 days, and we'll be in a really good spot.
Is everybody's positions or roles clear right now? Are you still figuring it out?
No, we're in a pretty good spot.
When you have Camario and you can use him obviously to recruit players, but is there also an aspect where when you're hiring coaches and interviewing them, does he come up in conversations of being able to coach a guy like Camario?
Yeah, absolutely. go watch every play he's played this year. And there's a ton of things that we want back, but I think people understand what lies ahead, and there's so much to be excited about that people want to be here.
You told us that you were leaving the recruiting and management staff back at Elks. What are they telling you now about these first couple of days before the period coming up?
We will walk in on the 3rd, and it'll be full tilt. We'll have a bunch of official visits in and being ready to go attack the 26 roster.
How has it changed now, the fact that with it also being in January, but still it's butting up right against the start of the spring semester as well? How does that expedite things that they don't have weeks and weeks to wait till it's time?
Yeah, I mean, it's speed dating, and you've got to find ways to make sure that you get the right guys. We've got a priority list on what we need to get done in those first 5 days, and our hope is to get a lot done in those first 5 days of official visits and be able to get guys in to where it's not an issue.
Has anyone told you about possibly exploring the NFL draft at this point?
No, we're in a good spot. We'll see where we land.
Talked in August a bit about how guys like Mark coming in and the structure of the department has really helped out in smoothing over the transition into rev share and things like that. How much has that also helped you the last month, where you're starting to prepare for a bowl game where you'd already started implementing your season plan?
No, it's been huge. Our personnel department's done an unbelievable job, and I think we're built and ready for what's about to happen on the 3rd.
How involved are you in some of the money part that goes into that with the players and negotiations, or do you kind of leave that for other people? Or?
No, I'm involved. I think a lot of people aren't, but to me, if it's going to happen inside our walls, at the end of the day, it's going to fall on me, and I want to be involved, and so I'm going to be involved in really every bit of it.
You said there was other things coming down the pike besides staff and stuff. What are some things we should start looking forward to after the bowl's done and you get back?
Yeah, I think just the portal pieces of what we've got going on, and the ability to go sign some guys that are going to create a huge impact for us and upgrade us the right way for our 26 roster.
Zach Selman's obviously happy to take the bowl. What have your conversations been like with him lately?
Yeah, he's excited that our guys get to go experience what they've experienced throughout the last 3-4 days, and what they're going to be able to experience tomorrow night. And so that's been our conversation for our guys. He understands the amount of growth that can happen with these extra practices and everything that's going on programmatically, and that's been fun.
Jeff, you've probably seen the history with this bowl, what happens to coaches.
Yeah.
You should win.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
It's like I've said, I've never been more excited about something that I didn't want to do in my entire life. So having the ability to go do that, if we'll find a way to be +1 at the end of the evening, I'll be damn glad.
In terms of the game itself, the gameplay with Mario, how much does he kind of change the approach to the run game in terms of what defenses have been giving you in terms of looks?
Yeah, I think we'll see. He gives us the ability to play 11 on 11 every single snap, regardless of situation, which I think's a huge advantage. He's got this incredible arm talent, which is going to create great balance for us. But it'll be interesting to see how people play us. It'll be interesting to see how Wake plays us tomorrow night. With him taking the snap, and I think that's something that I can't wait to continue to build around.
You were obviously really excited for Kamario, for a long time before he even got here. But has he almost exceeded your expectations as a freshman? Did you think you'd be kind of this ready at this point?
Yeah, he has. I won't tell him that, and I hope he doesn't watch it. He got a lot of work to do. He's got a ton of work to do. He's got so much out ahead of him, in front of him, but I'm dang proud of who he's been, how he's worked, how serious he is about being great, and again, he's got a lot left in front of him. So I'll continue to keep my thumb on him and get him where he needs to be.
When you talk about some of those things that he can keep polishing up or getting better at, what are some of those areas?
Yeah, just the fundamental pieces of it. He's like his growth from day one to today are completely different. I think his understanding of the game today compared to it was day one, completely different. He's got this incredible ability to retain and to process and have this great anticipation of what's about to happen before it happens, and that's very natural for him. He's so intelligent that it makes it fun to coach him even at a really young age. But it's, man, just playing the position. It's playing the game. And tomorrow night will be a huge step for him.
You have guys like Brennan and Ant.
Yeah.
Guys who maybe haven't been the one receiver before this year, but they've been playing football for a long time. How much does that help when you're bringing Mario in, especially developing him as a
Yeah, I do. I think that helps in a big way. Guys that have played a lot of ball, or they've been around some places that have been very successful, and I think that's always great for our QB.
You guys are going with the black jerseys tomorrow.
Yeah.
Who decides that, or how is that process?
I wish I could give somebody else credit, but I did.
You decided?
Langwell will probably take credit, but no, Nick Mitchell he called me two nights before the Egg Bowl. And he said, Coach, can we go all black? And I said, but we can't. It's not happening. Let's go win and get in a bowl game, and we'll go all black. We get fortunate enough to have this experience and be able to go play tomorrow night. And so after it happened, Nick called and said, Coach, we're going all black. I said, we're not going to announce it, but yes, we are. And great for our guys. Love the uni. It'll look great tomorrow night on national TV.
Was the Batman thing, was that Mario's idea?
I don't know. I'm not going to give him credit for any of that. We'll see.
I know the season's not over yet, but have you taken any time to just reflect on this whole season yet, or is that something you maybe do after?
I think maybe after, and after this portal closes as well. We got a lot of work to do. I'm proud of our growth. I think year one to year two, who we are and where we're at programmatically, completely different. But we've got so much work to do, and I think our people inside our walls understand that. Our players understand that. And tomorrow night be a huge step for us if we can find a way.
Have you guys decided who's calling defensive plays tomorrow?
We have. I'm not going to talk a ton about it. Again, these guys that we've got so many play callers, they've all got their own identity, and we'll move forward tomorrow night. Feel great about where we're at. Defensively, we've had incredible preparation, and excited for our guys to go play their butt off.
And that was Mississippi State University coach Jeff Lebby for tonight's Duke Mayo Bowl. We're going to talk Panthers after the break. Of course, they are playing for a very important division lead for the NFC South. That's after 2 minutes here on Live Impact News on WCNC+. All right, 9:54 here on Live Impact News on WCNC Plus. I'm Jane Monreal on a Friday morning, the first Friday of 2026. Tomorrow, yes, it's the first Saturday of 2026, but it is also the Panthers taking on the Bucks. Actually, the Bucks taking on the Panthers at home in Tampa. If you know, you know. But we've been covering it all extensively here on WCNC Plus, and that will continue, especially today with Danielle Stein now headed to Tampa. Extended coverage all week long, like we've been streaming here on the Plus at 9 p.m. Danielle's going to join us here on WCNC Plus starting later on this afternoon, Carlene.
Yeah.
So
she'll pop up. Here
yeah.
and there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're on all the time. So when she gets settled.
When she gets there and she gets up, we'll take her.
All right, so there you go. And then the game night watch party. Have we got a lineup for you tomorrow? Watch with us, you know, how all the talking heads do. Ours is going to be fun. We've got experts. We have Eugene in the house. Carboni's here. They're going to talk, break down the plays. We have Locked On Julian Council and Miles Harris and Logan Campbell. It is everything Panthers that you want to know.
Vashti Hurt from Miss Carolina Blitz on Instagram.
Oh, very cool. So
Very,
she's
very
going to join
cool.
us. This is the panel to join.
Yeah.
If you want, and we're
It's
going
the
to talk
who's
to you. You have questions, you let us know, because
Yeah.
we'll be talking about that. Jeb Goldman is our producer, and I'll be here maybe with a slice of pizza just to...
Hold it down.
Just to,
Just to
make
check
sure
in.
that the party's still on track.
You're bringing the vibe.
I'm bringing in vibes. And then I'll be on WCNC Charlotte at 6 p.m. But right now, if you missed last night's Panthers preview, you know it's on every Thursday night anyway with our Nick Sturdivant and Eugene Robinson. So we're going to start to play this for you. If you missed it, we're going to get psyched for the Panthers-Bucks game. That is tomorrow. But first, Panthers on the Plus.
Welcome in. Week 18. Panthers on the Plus, a.k.a. the Ball Brothers Panthers preview. As per usual, my Ball brother, Eugene Robinson.
Holla at your boy.
One of the 50 greatest Seahawks of all time. Safety. Eugene Robinson. I got to do the intro well, man.
I appreciate it, dog. Give a brother his flowers. I take it, man. I'll take a tulip there. Okay, that's cool.
You're one of the greatest players, but this wasn't one of the greatest games.
No, because they played the Seattle Seahawks. And the Seattle Seahawks, let me just tell you, they are no joke. Offensively, they're extremely strong, but I think where they really excel is their defense.
Oh, my God.
Their defense can be really smothering and suffocating defense. And based on our offensive production, that was the case. I thought that the Seattle Seahawks defense, they kept us to 10 points, whatever it was.
Yeah.
But the Seattle Seahawks defense was a smothering defense. They were able to stop the run, they were able to stop the pass, and they were able to tackle in space extremely well.
You know, one thing I noticed about their defense in a league, and I know you can attest to this, where you don't practice a lot. There's not a lot of thudding happening in practice. They are technically sound. They do not miss a tackle. They are pretty on point. They didn't even send a rush half the time.
Dude, and here it is, my bald head brother. If you're talking about a four-man rush, typically a four-man rush doesn't get home. You got five guys, and sometimes six guys with the tight end chipping or running back chipping to go ahead and take care of who may be the guys that are problematic on that defensive line. And with that four-man rush, Bryce was under pressure, and I thought that Bryce was going to have to do, after I saw the pressure from a four-man rush, I said, Bryce, just use your feet. This is the time now that you turn into Cam Newton. You become Lamar Jackson. You beat them with your feet, because then it will alleviate some of that pressure that you're getting from a four-man rush. They won't engage so quickly to go ahead to get to you. They'll go ahead and sit back and look. He might run and get ready for the run and improvisation. But that defense from Seattle was suffocating, to say the least.
I got on Sam Darnold last week previewing this matchup and said, look, man, this is a guy who the moment is always too big for him. Now, he did have those Sam Darnold moments where his eyes got big, he was getting frustrated, he was, they were turning the ball over, he threw an interception, and it's like, okay, this is what I'm talking about. But this Panthers team, at points, and I want to get your thoughts on this, it feels like the moment is too big for them a lot of times.
And I think what you're alluding to is that when you don't make the play, typically, okay, Sam Darnold made some mistakes, but there was a tip pass early in the game. Yeah. J.C. Horn's running to his right. The ball, he has to reach back out right to his left. Yeah. If he catches the ball, it is a totally different game. Yeah. All right, defensively, we're already lockstep with them. We already give them the business. Yeah. All right. It was 3-3.
Yeah. At
halftime. So we're already in there. When you miss out on those opportunities for interceptions, because there was opportunity for 2 more interceptions in that game, as opposed to the one that Jack got. So we could have got 3. And then even with the fumble that happened in the game, I'm yelling, just fall on it. Everybody's trying to pick it up. Just fall on it.
This is like the 3rd or 4th time this happened this season, by the way.
Fall on it. You're going to retain possession of the ball. You're in great position to go ahead, and it's a major turnover. But guess what? You want to scoop and score. Here's the thing what you're talking about. When you don't make the play, that's when you say, man, I think the moment's too big for them. Now, if they make the play, you go like this. Whoa, they capitalized on some really mistakes by Sam. You start to say that, and your confidence grows on that. Your confidence grows based on whether you make the play or don't make the play. It does. And so when you don't make the play, you got a little doubt in there. But when you do make the play, you go like this, oh, I've done this before. Shoot, I got this. This is easy. That's an easy interception for me. That's an easy one-handed pick for me. That's an easy scoop and score for me. That's an easy tackle for me. That's an easy push out of bounds to the guy. That's easy for me to do. But when you don't do it, it becomes a little bit harder.
Am I being unfair with that assessment? Because I asked you, is the moment too big for a guy like J.C. Horn? And I hate to pick on one. I know I've been doing the Knicks guy, but I hate to pick on one player. That interception, that PI,
3rd and 20,
Chris Olave,
and I know 3rd and 20. We had a 3rd and 20 situation. The score is 17-10. Yeah. Fourth quarter. Yeah. Maybe 8-9 minutes in the
a sack and then a penalty.
Yep. And so you had a sack, the penalty, and then it's a 3rd down and 20 situation. They were going to capitulate anyway and say, we're going to throw the ball to the sideline, get what you can, punt the ball. Yeah. That was going to be the strategy. Yep. When we got the penalty on that PI, a face mask, whatever it was that JC inadvertently got his hand in his face, I said, oh no, you just gave him life. Because now, don't forget, the game is a hard-fought game. Every possession means something. 3 points is going to be like 20 points. Yeah. If you get 7 points, 7 points is going to feel like 25 points. And so when they were able to go ahead and convert that from a 17-10 game to a 24, I said to myself, this game, they just lost the game right here because the way both defenses are playing, it's going to be hard to yield points. You just can't run down the field and score on either team. It's just very difficult to do that.
Bryce under 60 yards. There's a lot of blame to go around. Oftentimes,
I don't take the blame to go around on that one. I disagree with you.
Okay.
I'm telling you, I disagree with you on this one. Right. The team we face in the Seattle Seahawks was a championship quality team.
I'll do you one better. Canales, connections to the organization. He should know. If anybody in the league should know, other than Pete Carroll, he should know what that defense and what that system looks like. It hasn't changed much.
It hasn't changed much, and he had to give. He had to give the credit to the Seattle Seahawks and their coaching staff because he said not only did they play a very smart game, they got home with a 4-man rush. Yeah. He said, well, I know we made our mistakes. He said, but they were very sound. Yeah. They were sound across the board. And what that tells me is sound across the board is that you're not doing anything to jeopardize yourself, anything to compromise yourself defensively. You're not doing any of that stuff. Even when you blitz, if you are blitzing, you're doing something that's really safe or something that you know that your guys can accomplish and execute. They were sound. They were really good. And so I was like, and I asked them the question to Coach Canales. I said, so was this like a championship game? That's a championship team that we were 4 quarters, a 7-point differential. He said, and because we made mistakes, that championship team took advantage. And let me just tell you this, my boy and brother, this. When we get into the playoffs, and I'm saying when because I'm assuming we were going to get to the playoffs.
All right.
When we get in the playoffs, you can't afford to make a mistake, dude. The teams are too good. Everybody's too good at this point. Everybody's going to take whatever turnover you do, and they're going to convert points on it, dude.
And we might see a team like Seattle again.
Dude, I hope we don't see them dudes again. Them dudes ain't no jokes, man.
They're not.
They are one of the elite teams in the league, bar none. Bar none.
Championship. We're in play. We've been in playoff mode for a while, but it really comes down to the wire. It's Saturday. I was going to say Sunday, but Saturday we played the Tampa Bay Bucks and Tampa. I spoke with Carboni yesterday. He said, or this week I should say, and Carboni said, "Man, I look at Tampa. They came down here. I look at them against the game against the Dolphins. They look defeated." But they're still in it, and they're still hungry, and they're still a mad team, right?
Well, let me go back to this. Winning is contagious.
Yeah.
And losing is contagious.
Okay.
You know they lost the last 4 or 5 games?
Yes.
Tampa?
Yeah.
They went from being a team that was going to be like 6-2, a darling of the NFC South, to now a team that's like, who are these guys right here? And when I'm telling you, when you lose 4 games, they lost some close games too. 4 games. We beat them only by 3 points. All right. You've lost 4 games, 5 games. I think maybe 5 games in a row. I could be off with my numbers. But what does that do to you? What you say is that, man, we can't even make a play, dude. And you look for somebody to make a mistake. You look for something to go wrong. You look for all that stuff. Winning is contagious, and losing is contagious. And so when I say, you throw all that stuff, we're going to be going down there, I'm like, there's something that's ailing them because they don't think they should be losing, and they have been losing, and they can't figure out why they've been losing. And it shows on their face. And because of that, I think that's a little extra tactical advantage. See, the Carolina Panthers, nobody expect to be here.
Right.
They're excited to go ahead and play. They're looking forward to going down to Tampa.
Can I add something?
Go ahead.
Inconsistencies are contagious because Carolina's been inconsistent.
Preach on.
So something's got to give on Saturday. Somebody's got to win the division.
Okay, but here's the funny thing, because we've been so competitive in our division, in our conference, is the fact that even if we lose the game, and the Atlanta Falcons were to win their game in Atlanta versus the Saints, guess what? We have a tiebreaker against Atlanta because we beat them twice, and we have a tiebreaker against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So even with a loss, a win by the Atlanta Falcons puts us in the playoffs.
Eugene, we might have to send you to Tampa Bay, man.
Man, what?
We need some of that good. Are you going to the game?
I'm not going to the game. Dude, we're going to be doing a streaming thing here, so I'm going to be here.
But I'm just saying, we need some good juju there. I know Danielle Stein's going to be there, but we need some more good juju.
Dude, and just my experience, when you're coming down the wire in November, in December, you say you got to win because that puts yourself in the playoffs.
Yeah.
When you win in November, December, you put yourself in the playoffs. But when you lose in November and December, guess what? You eliminate yourself from the deal. We've been 1-1. We've been winning, losing, winning, losing. We did that for like 10 weeks already. Winning, losing, winning, losing, winning, losing, winning, losing. But Tampa has been losing.
All right, so let's get to it. We're talking about the Bucks-Panthers rematch, Week 18. First of all, Week 18, if you would have played 18 games or 18 weeks,
dude, that's
back when you played.
Yeah, and for the rookies, it's a long season. I remember when I was a rookie back in the day, and you played maybe 10, 11 games in college, right?
Yeah.
You're playing 17, 18 games, 18 weeks. You're playing 17 games
plus the playoff game. If they make the playoff, if you make a playoff game.
I remember being tired my first year going. It was just the 12th game. I'm like, why am I so tired? Because I haven't experienced 16 games before. We got an extra month that we're playing football in, and I've never experienced that before. And you have to get used to it. So the guys like McMillan, the guys like Smith Wade, the guys like Scorton,
who played phenomenal.
Phenomenal. He had a great game. This is new territory from them because they haven't played a game. Maybe they have done it in college where they went to a bowl game, but it's not the same when you're playing every week in December.
Because in college you have that long break time between last game and bowl game.
It goes like the end of November, and then you got almost a month before you play a bowl game. And now they're playing games. You're practicing. You're in and out. You're in and out the stadium. You're back and forth. You're on a plane. You're out. It's a long season, and you got to get used to it.
Do you think that's
All right, we're going to take a short break on Live Impact News on WCNC Plus. Back here now at 10:12 on Live Impact News on WCNC Plus. Want to remind you that right now we are concentrating on Duke's Mayo Bowl tonight, of course, at Bank of America Stadium, but also the Panthers as they are going for the NFC South division title and lead. And so everything here on the Plus is about it. Panthers on the Plus all night long, all week long, 9 o'clock every night. Danielle Stein joining us live from Tampa. She is headed that way this morning. And so she will join us here as well when she can get set up. And then the game night watch party. This is what you need to put on your calendar. Go ahead and mark this on your app or whatever and join us for the game night watch party tomorrow starting at 4. We have experts and Nick Carboni and personalities. This will be fun as you watch the game live. We will watch it with you, and we can get engaged here and talk to each other and everything Panthers. Talk about it. All right, so this is a great forum for everybody involved. Anyone who's a Panthers fan, let them know about it. In the meantime, we have been playing last night's Panthers on the Plus preview with our Eugene Robinson. He is a real bundle of energy, isn't he? With Nick Sturdivant. Carlene makes an appearance every now and then.
I record them every week, and let me tell you what, I get jazzed.
You get psyched.
Just because he does,
he brings
comes
it
into a room,
yeah,
and it instantly just
elevates the energy.
The room. It elevates the buzz. The room just goes up.
There are people like that.
He's one of them.
Love it. He's
it.
great. I love that he was just saying, why go down to Tampa? I can do all his screaming right here. So, and that's what he's gonna do that. He's going to do that tomorrow as well.
What you feel on
live.
the screen watching him, that's exactly what it is.
In the room.
And he doesn't turn off, by the way. He's like that on and off camera.
Ooh, boy.
Yeah.
All right. You want more of it? Here it is on Live Impact News on WCNC Plus.
impact on McMillan because he's been sort of he's come in spots, but he's largely been a no-show. Like I think he and XL Xavier Legette combined for like 2 catches, 8 yards, something like that. But I know he was sick on the injury report on Sunday. But you think that fatigue may be playing into why he's not been around as much?
No, I think the one thing that's playing into it, maybe a little bit fatigue because of the long season. But I think primarily is that they know you're the number 1 receiver and you're going to get the rock. And they're going to say like this, all right, Bryce, throw it to somebody else. All right, here it is.
2 hands, dog.
Dude,
please.
And here it is. Let me just be, the honesty here is that Legette has gotten better. But early in the season, he wasn't catching the rock that way, right?
No.
So, okay, what do you do if you're on the other team? You go like this, okay, since now T-Mac is getting off, we're going to have to double him, or we're going to like at least scheme around him and make sure that if he's in the zone, somebody's looking up through the zone, all that type of stuff. You're going to do all that stuff and say, throw it to your other guy. Throw it to the other guy.
Yeah.
Because now you think the other guy can't beat you. So I think it's a combination of both. I think it's one that he's being highlighted, and I think it's also because it's a very, very long season.
It's not a bad strategy because they're
but now you got Jalen Coker, though.
Well, yeah, but they say, hey, your other guy is Xavier Legette, and he's not getting as many targets. So they're like, you don't even trust that other guy.
So and that's what my point is. My point is that they're saying, okay, Bryce, we know that's your guy.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try to take away your guy.
Yeah.
So we take away that threat. Now you got to throw the ball somewhere else. You throw the ball a little bit laterally to Rico Dowdle, maybe Chuba Hubbard. You do more screens. The ball doesn't go down the field unless it's going to Jalen Coker. All right? And it did go to Legette on one play, a touchdown.
Yeah.
So I don't want to, don't disparage him. I don't want to do that. No. But I'm saying tactically, if you're a defense and when you look at the film, what stands out to you? T-Mac got to stop that dude. Do I need to stop this other guy? No, we're all right.
That's
what they're saying tactically.
On paper against the Bucs, they should play a lot better. Guys should get open like they did a couple of weeks ago because, look, that Tampa Bay secondary, not really good at all. And they have that's older defense. That's a defense, you're talking about Levante David, who's been
I've always been a big fan of Levante David.
Since the dinosaurs.
Yeah, exactly.
He's been in the league for a long time.
Yeah, he has been, and he's always been a really, really good. They are struggling defensively, and this is where Bryce could take advantage. One thing I expect them to go ahead and do, I expect them to get into an 8-man front and stop the run. Because if they don't, if they go ahead and get into maybe their typical 4-3 to 3-4, don't drop down to safety, and now you can spread them out a little bit and then run Rico Dowdle or run Chuba, I think that Rico Dowdle, in my opinion, I think he would just absolutely eat them up. And then it allows you to go do a lot of play action. Now, what does that happen? You get play action, you get man-to-man coverage, typically speaking, because you got an 8-man front. Now you got to go man-to-man coverage. You play some form of cover 0, cover 1. I'm just saying, or maybe even cover 3. I think it just, if we run the ball well, it lends itself because they're going to have to get into 8-man front. If they do get an 8-man front, they're going to say, okay, Bryce, can you beat us? Bryce, can you beat us? And Bryce answered the question already. He's already answered that question. Can you beat us? Yeah, I can come from behind and beat you.
Can Canales answer that question? Because
he's already done answer the question.
Every other week, it feels like the play calling has been uninspired. Guys are not getting schemed open. A lot of stuff looks like, because Bryce's main job is throw it to the open guy, throw guys open. Don't turn over the ball. He hasn't turned over the ball in weeks. We trust Bryce when it comes to ball security. But guys are just not getting open.
They aren't getting open like they were earlier, and I don't think that's much more a function of Coach Canales.
And the run game. I want to mention the run game too.
I think it's a function of the other defenses. I mean, see, I don't want to make this mistake because I'll go like this. If I'm Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I'm going like this. Oh man, we lost that game, man. We had 2 guys get open. If the corner stays over the top, if we blitz on this play, they're gonna have a lot of things to say. If we did this, we would have easily walked away with this game. That's what they're saying to themselves. We would have walked away from this game. So what does it become now? Did that mean that coach had a bad deal? This is the landscape of football. I line up against you. You line up against me. You can have a great scheme. Colleen, I'm gonna put it in somewhere. Colleen, I'm just telling you, it's me against you. Now, what you own do, what you own do, what you own do.
Well, you know,
what you gonna do?
She went to University of South Carolina.
I know.
So I don't know if they.
No, they're not.
We ain't got a bowl. We ain't got a plate, a spoon. We got nothing. We got nothing on the Gamecocks. But that's another day.
But the Gamecocks get down. But what it comes down to me against you.
Yeah.
All right. You make it came down to J.C. Horn pushing the guy out of bounds or getting a pass interference. It came down to, against the Saints, Latham Ransom hitting the quarterback as he's sliding to now have maybe a 62, 64-yard field goal as opposed to a 48-yard field goal with the yardage tacked on because of the penalty. It comes down to those instances. They have nothing to do with the execution, nothing to do with the game plan, nothing to do with the play, everything to do with you're running the ball and it's me against you. Now, do I be prudent? Do I be wise? Do I try to stop you? How do I do it? You learn some tough lessons that I hope, JC, Latham, Ransom, you take into this next game against Tampa and take all those lessons that we've been talking about that you've learned and apply them there, because I think that you may be the better team because they're losing, and I think it's one that you could go out there and get away with one ticket.
One guy we talk about a lot, and I just want to mention this before we go to break, Mike Jack. He is playing like the best corner on the team right now. And I don't want to take anything away from JC.
You ain't taking away from J.C. Horn?
But Mike Jack, man, shout out to Mike Jack.
Shout out to Mike Jack, and I'm glad you brought him up, because don't forget when he was matched up against Mike Evans in the first game, Mike Evans scored a touchdown on him on a back shoulder fade, right? Yeah. The ball came out quickly by Baker Mayfield. Boom. The next time they ran the exact same play, almost the exact same situation, he was in better position, and the ball was thrown awry a little bit because of his position.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there going like this. All right, Jack, do your thing. Jack comes up with a interception this last game. I'm like, okay, Jack, do your thing. Jack has thrown down the gauntlet and said, look, I know my boy got 5 interceptions on the other side, JC, but if you think I'm the weak link, that's a game show. The weak link is a game show, baby. You think I'm the weak link? Go ahead and try me. Go ahead and try me. And that's what Jack has been doing. Mike Jack has been playing sensational football because he's like other corner. And now he's saying, you may think I'm the other corner. I ain't the other corner. Quickly. Ken Easley, our top safety in the league. Yeah. He just passed away, played with him for a number of years.
Rest in peace.
I remember when I hit one of the tight ends from the Raiders. I jacked him up. Boom, came down here. Boom, it was Todd. I can forget Todd's last name. Boom, jacked him up, right? He says, good hit, Ken. I said, I ain't no Ken. I ain't Ken. I'm not Easley. Mike Jack. I'm not Horn. My name is Jack.
Man, he's covering these wide receivers like.
You better watch out. Now. Don't get me all fired up. I'm getting too excited to rub
He's on those wide receivers like
Mike Jack. Go ahead and
like
get
mayo on white bread. That's how Mike Jack is. Woo! All right, let's get to some quick hitters. X Factor. I know I ask you this every week, but I really.
Canales.
Okay. X Factor is.
The X Factor is the coaches. The X Factor is. This has nothing to do with. How good you're going to play. I'm expecting it to be a tough game, but I'm expecting you got to come out with it.
Yeah.
You got to be aggressive.
Against your former team.
In every phase of your game plan, and this game is Saturday, so it's a short week. You have to be aggressive. This is not holding back. This is taking your best plays, whatever that is, and saying we're going to go ahead and run these. These are things we're in practice this week. I'm expecting run your best stuff. Run the stuff on the thing that you didn't get a chance to run because you were beating Tampa.
Yeah.
And run the stuff that worked that's on your list that worked against Tampa. I'm throwing out every bit of stops. So this is more about a referendum on the coaching staff, the defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, or in this case, we call him plays, Coach Canales, Ejiro, and then the special teams coach.
Is it difficult coming into this? Is their first short week game. I thought about it because they played Monday Night Football. That's technically not a short week. That's
technically not. Yes,
technically not. But this is one of their first short weeks.
This is it.
What impact does that do you foresee?
I love the fact that you have a short week because you don't have time to think about it. You don't have a day. You batten down the hatches. Everybody, all hands on deck, and you get into game planning earlier. The fact that you've already played this team just less than 2 weeks ago, you've already played this team, Colleen. You already know them.
Yeah,
you already know them. So. And here it is. I think that the Carolina Panthers are playing with house money. I think the fact that no one's expecting them to be where they are. No one. Yeah. If you would have said me we won 7 games, you go, I'll take it. We're already at 8 games.
If the season were to end now, no more week 18, we still make the playoffs.
We still make the playoffs, right? So we're already we're already playing with the house money. Yeah. But the excitement that you have and a narrative that's in the locker room, which is that, hey, we're a lot better, and we let some things slip, and we let some things. And I know there's a lot of inconsistency, but if we get in the playoffs, you better watch out.
Better watch out, man. We haven't had playoff football here, and it would potentially be a home game,
dude. Yeah. And don't forget, you've already been in games with the Rams, with the Packers, and with the Seattle Seahawks. I don't want you to lose sight of this. It's 3rd down and 20. It's 17-10.
Yeah.
3rd down and 20. Fourth period. If we don't get a PI. Or the push out.
The game looks different.
The game is different. If J.C. Horn gets an interception early in the game, the game is different. And those are tangible, actual, materialist plays that you can do.
I mean, and I think about too. I know San Francisco was an ugly game. We had 3 interceptions against Brock Purdy in that game. We were in that game for a while, so we can compete. We just have to take it to another level.
But I thought you saw, even with the Seattle Seahawks, and I thought this was championship football. I said, man, defensively, we can bang with anybody, dude. We're going at it, dude. And don't forget, when they scored because they got the ball on the other side of the field.
Yeah.
They had a short field every single time, dude.
We can't give them the short field. We can't give them the advantage.
You got to play clean football.
Week 18 Saturday matchup.
What?
Panthers on the plus. Week 18. Look,
we got to do this again. So I want to go ahead and do this again.
I don't want to close it out.
I don't want to close this out, dude.
Look, we'll see you next week. That's what I'm forecasting. Next week, Thursday, Panthers on the plus. Nick Eugene, Carlene, that all rhymes. Panthers on the plus. My Brothers Panthers preview, including Carlene.
Nick Eugene and Carlene in the house.
Carlene, MVP of the show. We'll see you next week, y'all.
Nick Eugene and Carlene, all right, liking it. And the party continues today because Danielle Stein is going to join things here on WCNC Plus
sunny
from
Florida.
Tampa. Is it sunny? Because Chris Mulcahy said there
it's
are
gonna be
due...
rain. It's gonna be tomorrow. It's gonna be rainy.
Oh, but not today. So nice landing, and then they'll get sloshed
It'll be a little
tomorrow.
cloudy today, but it's still 63 right now. That ain't bad.
That is not too bad for Florida. All right, and then tomorrow, more of the fun. You saw Eugene's energy from last night. Every moment he walks into a room.
The moment he wakes up to the moment he goes to bed.
We're going to bring some of that to you here tomorrow on WCNC Plus. Panthers on the Plus. Our watch party starts at 4 tomorrow afternoon. Nick Carboni's going to be here at the helm. Miles, Logan, Eugene. We have guests from Locked On.
Yep.
And Panthers Talk, right?
Yeah.
That's just to name a few.
Yeah.
Don't mean to name drop in anything, but
we have a lot.
It is a place to be.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a quick 2-minute break here on Live Impact News on WCNC Plus. Back here now at 10:30 on Live Impact News on WCNC Plus, the Friday before the Panthers are going to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers for the NFC South Division. They are in Tampa this weekend, and so it's all about Panthers here on WCNC Plus. And with that extra coverage, we're including a nightly show at 9 o'clock, if not with Eugene Robinson, with our own Nick Carboni. He talked to, this is from Tampa Bay Times, Rick Stroud, a reporter from there. And we're going to play that for you here. But just want to remind you that starting later this afternoon, Danielle Stein is going to check in on Live Impact News. She's reporting live from Tampa. And then a game night watch party starting tomorrow at 4 o'clock with our Nick Carboni, as well as Eugene Robinson, all going to be here in the Live Impact studio, as well as our main studio. We're going to break down some analysis. We're going to have some party vibes. We are going to have some pizza. Hopefully, you have, your snacks as well.
Pizza.
And then we'll all just kind of
Watch
join
along,
in.
eat along.
Yeah. And then chime along. You can.
You can text in.
Yeah, Saturday afternoon quarterbacking. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
We'll field your messages and questions throughout the show. In the meantime, let's go back a couple nights because, again, Nick talked to Rick out of Tampa Bay. So 2 reporters on the sports beat talking Panthers, Bucks. The game is tomorrow. Let's have you listen in here on a previously recorded interview with Panthers on the Plus.
Welcome, everybody, and happy New Year's Eve. This is Panthers on the Plus. We normally do every Monday night at 9 o'clock. Given the big week, we are doing every single night at 9 o'clock with a special guest, getting you ready for Week 18, this rematch between the Carolina Panthers and Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Not quite winning in for everybody involved, but a big game nonetheless to potentially decide the division. And we bring in Rick Stroud, longtime Buccaneers beat writer for the Tampa Bay Times. Rick, thank you so much for joining me, man. I just want to talk about the energy first because it seems like there's a whole lot of it in the Panthers locker room. What are the vibes right now in the Bucs locker room as they've lost 7 of 8?
It wouldn't really make you think they have lost 7 of 8. I mean, this locker room is still very together. They've been through a lot of battles together in the past, and they've had these slumps, not anything that's lasted this long. But it's really not a team that, seems to be out of it. I mean, they're still, talking to each other. They're still getting along pretty well. They're working hard. So it's not a positive vibe, obviously, when you lose that many games. I think there's always a confidence issue at that point. But they're still looking at this as another opportunity. They're going to need help for the first time. They had their own destiny there for a while. But it's actually, I think they've had a pretty good attitude about things.
Does that come from, being the 4-time division champions 4 straight years? I mean, they've done it before. They haven't done it a whole lot since Halloween, obviously, but they've been in this part of it before.
Yeah, I think you've got guys on this team that have won, Super Bowls, and it seems like a long time ago, and I guess it was, but when you have the leadership of a Mike Evans and Levante David and Tristan Wirfs and Antoine Winfield Jr., you really don't have a choice, but to follow those guys. And they've all said the right things. They, you go through these phases where you got to look in the mirror, and then Todd Bowles had his 7 F-bombs after a game, and they've kind of gone through the various stages of grief, but. Now it's they're out of bullets, and they know that even to have a chance, they have to win this game. There are no more games after this. So the finality of that in the NFL season, any NFL season, is always abrupt. And I think they want to do everything they can to at least put themselves in a position. The worst thing for them, of course, would be to lose the game, and then Atlanta ends up losing to New Orleans. So they're taking this very seriously, and I think they're looking forward to the chance to play Carolina again. It was just 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it'll be 13 days between games there, so Carolina will have to beat them again. Just a quick health check, Rick. I know Baker popped up on the injury report with a throwing shoulder issue. It had been the non-throwing and a knee. What's kind of going on with Baker?
You know, he's had about 8 or 9 injuries, different injuries, and it started with the knee, and you know, we've had things like the oblique, and of course the left shoulder he separated against the Rams, and so he's been kind of harnessing that up, and so yeah, the right shoulder is a new injury. He's had you know, a bicep injury on that arm. I think all of it, it's kind of been death by 1,000 paper cuts, but the way the guy plays, he's going to get hurt. You know, he runs around probably way too much than he should. You know, and I think that, you know, when you wear your heart on your sleeve, you're likely to get it knocked off a few times. But I believe that he will make this game. I do think it's affected him down the stretch. You can look at his numbers. You know, he started out 14 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I want to say he's somewhere around 9 touchdowns and 8 interceptions in his last 6 or 8 games or something like that. So, you know, finishing the last 3 games with fourth quarter picks is not a good sign. How much of that is injury? How much of that is something else? It's sometimes hard to tell. But there's no question, you know, and a lot of guys are hurt right now, right? But he's had his share, and he always will. I think just, you know, the way he plays, you know, getting out of sacks, lowering his shoulder, running the football. He's not the biggest guy in the world. He's going to take those hits, but he'll be out there Sunday, and I expect him to do everything he can to try to win the game.
Talking to Rick Stroud from the Tampa Bay Times. You can find him on X at NFL Stroud. Rick, we've heard comments, post-game comments from Todd Bowles, where it just seems to be a disconnect, especially on the defensive side. We see the Tristan Wirfs, Bucky Irving moment on the sideline. Is there a fracture here? Is that what's happening the last 8 games, or is it just a cumulative effect of the last 8 games?
Yeah, I think each thing is different, right? I mean, Bucky went through his trials, and it's been well documented. You know, he struggled being injured. He's never been injured before in his career, and he was out like something like 6 games, and he talked about that. Since he's come back, he's not had a lot of success. You know, I think he had, I don't know, 9 carries for 18 yards or somewhere like that, and it wasn't working. Now, you know, they've got 2 backup guards right now. Their offensive line has been obliterated by injuries a little bit, and those inside zone runs that he's been so successful at just haven't been there. So I do think there was a certain amount of frustration. You see that on every sideline. It's not always captured by the cameras. You know, Tristan was inactive that game, so he was sticking up for his guys a little bit, but all is fine after you get out of the heat of the battle. And I just think, yeah, you'll see frustration. Look, it's tough to win a game, as we've seen in this league. What's been so jarring for them is to start out 5-1, 6-2, and then have the wheels come off this way. But they've been their own worst enemies. They've lost games that they should have won. Up 14 against Atlanta, you know, 19 accepted penalties against the Falcons. You can't lose that game. Even last week they had their opportunities. So there is a certain amount of frustration, and yet they have a heartbeat. It's not as big, as loud as it was before, but they still have a chance. So those guys, they've laughed about it a little bit. They've calmed down, but you get that on every sideline, I think, every Sunday.
Rick, I cover a team that seems to be a different football team week to week. You obviously cover one that was a different football team the first 8 games than it has been the last. Where did it all go wrong? Is there a through line? Was there a turning point where it turns so south in the NFC South for this team?
It's hard to pinpoint, to be honest with you. They played a pretty good New England team, and Baker played really well in that game. They wound up losing it. I think that when you lose some of your key players, like they were without Mike Evans for a good stretch. He came back, broke his collarbone in Detroit. I really think that, you know, that was the beginning of it. I think, you know, also when there's film on Josh Grizzard, who's a new offensive coordinator, you know, Baker was hurting some teams with his legs, and I think the Lions were the first one to kind of close down some of those running lanes, and it's a copycat league, you know, and I think that, you know, with him getting injured, but when you lose Mike Evans, Chris Godwin's been in and out of the lineup. At one point, Emeka Egbuka was their #1 receiver, and even though he's an outstanding rookie, that was not his role early on. Losing Bucky Irving the way they did, I think injuries has been the biggest thing in this league. You know, you have to have some luck with that. You just do. It's a little like NASCAR. I mean, you lose a tire here and you know, blow a head gasket there, and it's like you're not going to get around the track. So In the years that they've won, they've been fortunate with injuries. Both Super Bowl championships I covered, and those teams were really lucky in terms of who they lost. But you also got to play better. Look, they got a first-time offensive coordinator. I mean, we were here with Dave Canales. He didn't exactly light the world on fire. I know that he did well enough to parlay that into a head coaching job. But those things are tough, and it's just the course of a football season. I've not seen it flip this way from 5-1, 6-2 to where they are now, but they've kind of gone through it. It's been a lot of things.
Final question for Rick Stroud. Thank you for joining us from the Tampa Bay Times. Last question, knowing your audience there with a NASCAR reference here in Charlotte, North Carolina, the engine of any offense is the offensive line. Where do the Bucks stand on that unit right now? I know Wirfs missed last week. Sounds like he may be a go this week too.
Yeah, he's going to try to go. I mean, he's got a turf toe, and that's a tough thing for a guy that's 300, going on 50 pounds. He's had his share, right, with the knee injury. And he had an oblique, and so that's hurt him. But he's going to go out there and give it all he has. I think losing the two guards was difficult. They lost Cody Mock at the beginning of the season to a knee injury, and then losing Ben Bredesen a couple of different times. The guards are just not what they need to be, and so that hurts your center, Graham Barton, who played at Duke, and I think that it's just not been a real cohesive unit. But you'll see 3/5 of their starting lineup at the offensive line. And, it's tough. It's a tough matchup because we know those big guys that Carolina has inside, and they had trouble moving them. They did run the ball, 30-something times the last time they played them. I would think they'll try that again. But it's going to be a tough NFC South battle, man. It'll be probably low scoring and right down to the wire.
Rick Stroud from the Tampa Bay Times. Rick, somebody's got to win the NFC South. We'll see how it plays out. Rick Stroud from the Tampa Bay Times. Thanks for joining me, man.
Thanks for having me. No problem.
All right, more Panthers on the Plus. Previewing Panthers-Bucks coming up.
And that gives us a moment here to take it back out live, 1042 on Live Impact News on WCNC Plus. Yes, so Nick Carboni has been on it, talking every night at 9 o'clock with Panthers on the Plus. Special coverage this week, counting down to tomorrow's game in Tampa. Danielle Stein joining us from Tampa starting later this afternoon with some live reports here on WCNC Plus. And we have a watch party tomorrow. Let me tell you all of the guests. Now that I have this list in front of me, because I have been reaching for names, so many people. This is the who's who of local talk about Panthers. Of course, Nick Carboni is going to be at the helm with things. Julian from Locked On. We have Jeb, our extraordinary producer, who loves sports. And does he love the Panthers? We don't care. He loves
He's
Panthers.
a Niners fan, but he supports the Panthers.
He does. Okay, we all do.
Yeah.
Logan Campbell from FMY, WFMY, our content partner there out of Greensboro. She covers everything Cats as well. And then, of course, we have Eugene Robinson, who's not only a former NFL player.
Seahawks great, a Panthers player.
So he knows.
He's got a resume.
He knows what's up.
He knows what's up.
He's going to be breaking it down with Carboni, and then perhaps more special guests as well. From Panthers Talk?
Potentially Vashti.
Okay.
Vashti Hurt.
All right.
Ms. Carolina Panthers Talk. Yeah.
So, okay, Panthers
She's
Talk.
very popular.
I mean, what did I say? Who's who?
Who's who?
They're going to be popping in here to the Live Impact studio, and that's why you need to have WCNC Plus. I know you have it because you're watching us right now, but tell your friends, tell all the Panthers fans this is the place to be joining us for the Game Watch Party. And then we can also talk and exchange. Get your pizza out. We'll have pizza as well, and we'll do a pizza party together out there digitally. That's how it goes now. All right, we're going to watch more of Nick Carboni's interview with Rick Stroud out of Tampa after this break in 2 minutes on Live Impact News on WCNC Plus. At 10:46 on Live Impact News on WCNC Plus, I'm Jane Monreal. So we were just watching Nick Carboni from Wednesday's Panthers on the Plus special content for you here just on our digital platform, because the Panthers are playing the Buccaneers for an all-important NFC South Division game tomorrow. They're in Tampa, and we have it all being covered for you now here with special coverage and more of Nick Carboni's interview with Rick Stroud from the Tampa Bay Times.
Welcome back to Panthers on the Plus. I am Nick Carboni, joined by producer Jeb Goldman, who's driving the ship, and great stuff from Tampa Bay Times beat writer Rick Stroud last segment. He's been around the game and around the Bucs and around this weird division for a long time. Doesn't get much weirder than it is this year, and we'll talk about that. Want to talk about a few things we've got going on WCNC Plus, Panthers on the Plus. It's going to be really exciting. So Jeb, of course, he's got the graphic ready to go. Didn't even know that. Fantastic work, Jeb. We will be covering the lead up to this game all week long. We have been covering it all week long. Every night at 9 o'clock, just like tonight here on New Year's Eve even, we will have a 30-minute breakdown of this matchup. Rick Stroud obviously joined us here on New Year's Eve. New Year's Day, we've got former Panthers safety and current Panthers broadcaster Eugene Robinson. And then to cap off the week, on Friday night at 9 o'clock, we've got Vashti Hurt from Carolina Blitz, who's been awesome on here before. You're not going to want to miss that. Friday is also when Danielle Stein is wheels down in Tampa Bay, delivering coverage starting Friday at 3 on WCNC Plus, and then all evening on both WCNC Plus and WCNC Charlotte. And Saturday, we've got something really special planned, a watch party. So what that is at 4 o'clock, so that's 30 minutes before kickoff. We've got a loaded roster of talent here in the building. We're going to be in multiple studios. We're going to be talking about the game. We're going to be having fun, talking about what this big moment, a quasi-playoff game, means to the city, to the franchise, to the fan base. We're also going to have Eugene in here breaking down plays as they happen and what the Panthers need to do to adjust mid-game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So, and by the way, if the Panthers win and clinch the division Saturday night, we will be on immediately here on WCNC Plus with live post-game reaction and reports and analysis as well. So a lot to get to. Good Lord, Jeb, I don't want to know what we're going to do for the playoffs if they make it. We're going to have to really go nuts with that.
I was going to say, if this is just what it looks like when we're about to get there,
it's an exciting time. I mean, I've been here. This is my 10th season. There has been one playoff game in my time here because I got here right after the Super Bowl. Don't blame it on me. But this would be a home game, which would be unbelievable. And you've seen the crowds the last couple of weeks at Bank of America Stadium. This place is dying for a home game. And I think we're going to hear a little bit about that from one of the players in this next segment. I'm actually just getting back from talking to the Panthers here on Wednesday afternoon. And we talked to a lot of these guys all week about what this situation means, how they can take advantage of it, and what a home playoff game would mean. So here's a little bit of a dive into the Panthers locker room here on Wednesday.
Yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting. Like you said, just talked a little bit about the stuff we've been through since we got drafted here. Injuries, losing seasons, coaching changes. Just to have this opportunity, it means a lot to both of us, and I'm sure all the guys that's been here for a long time. So, we're looking forward to it.
Man, I feel like we've been in a spot for a couple weeks now, but for some reason we just find a way to blow it. But it's now or never now. So, obviously, this is an important week for us and this organization, so we got to make it happen.
Have you been able to get a feel, like you talk about, for the organization, for the city? Have you kind of gotten a feel for that, like how bad they want this for this team?
For sure, I definitely feel like I've been feeling it recently. The past few home games, the crowd has been a little different. A lot of people in the locker room say this is kind of what the playoff atmosphere feels like, and I can definitely feel it.
Once the game starts, it's football. Like, you got to tackle, you have to do all the fundamental stuff to win the game. So that's kind of what I just try to focus in on.
You like playing on Saturday? How do you feel about that?
It's cool. Like, I'd rather play Sunday because we messed up the week. But it's cool. Like, it's gonna be different. And for me, it's kind of like a little league game. You get to play on Saturday. And that's kind of how I'm approaching it. Approach it like any other game and just have fun, live in the moment.
You know, over the last few weeks, we had a bunch of crazy situations happen that could have put us over the hump. You know, I think, you know, if we want to get to where we need to be, you know, we can't rely on nobody else. We need to go take care of it ourselves.
When you talk about the pressure of getting it, you know, win or go home, that sort of thing, is there a danger of guys trying to do too much? You know,
I mean, I think that pressure's on you every day. Like, you're in the league, you either do your job or send your ass home. So, I mean, I think that's one of those pressures that we know we live with. But, I mean, just to be at this stake in our career, I mean, it's going to be an exciting time.
Derek Brown has a great way with words, all the words.
And we'll bring you more words because we need to take our last break here just before 11 a.m. You're watching Live Impact News on WCNC+. Time right now is 10:54 on Live Impact News on WCNC+. We are going to play the last few minutes here of Nick Carboni's special coverage with a special edition of Panthers on the Plus. Get you psyched for tomorrow's game. Here it is on WCNC+.
From Derek coming up. But I think, you know, the veterans on this team, and when I say veterans, I mean 5 or 6 year guys like J.C. Horn and Derek Brown that you're hearing from there, they understand this moment. They understand it is important to seize upon it right now, to not put it in the hands of their new nemesis, Tyler Shuck and New Orleans on Sunday afternoon against Atlanta. And, you know, even rookies like Tetairoa McMillan, who has played and really spoken beyond his years here this year in his first season in the NFL, they understand they've had opportunities and they've blown those opportunities, as he said right there. One thing I do want to, it's interesting to hear Rick Stroud talk about the energy, and that's what I wanted to get into first, because it just seems like the Panthers season, despite its up and down nature, despite coming off another loss, the Panthers season is kind of rolling forward with momentum, despite the losses every other week, I know. But they didn't expect to be in this position. You know, they haven't taken care of being in this position the last 2 or 3 times, but they are on an upswing. The Bucs, from the outside, from Charlotte, North Carolina, seem to kind of be on this late season slog, certainly a late season slide, losing 7 of 8. But it was interesting to hear Rick Stroud from the Tampa Bay Times tell us, like, look, in that locker room, there's belief there. There's hope. They know they have one life left, and they need help, but they know all it takes is 2 wins, really, one for them and one for New Orleans, and that they're in, and they have the personnel. And I think that is what would scare me the most, is that offensive personnel, Jeb, for Tampa Bay. That like if these guys finally turn it on and all click now that they're back together, like it could be a rough day for the Panthers defense if they're not careful.
But that's the question, right, Nick? It's if they can turn it on.
Right.
You know, at the beginning of the year, I think through 6 or 7 games, I would have told you Emeka Egbuka, not only was he the rookie of the year, I would have argued that he might be one of the best rookies we've ever seen. I mean, the latest in a long line of Ohio State products. But as you've seen this Tampa Bay team slide, you've seen that with him in that offense, and obviously.
All right, I want to just bring you some breaking news right now. This just posted on social media from Charlotte's FBI, saying that their law enforcement partners have thwarted a potential terrorist attack on New Year's Eve in North Carolina. The subject, they said, was directly inspired to act by ISIS. So a special FBI agent in charge will announce more details in an upcoming press conference later on this morning. We will bring you the very latest on WCNC Charlotte here as well. So that will be in about half an hour when we get details. You can find that here on WCNC Plus as well as online. Charlotte Today is up next. Have a great day.